2 months ago, there was an evening where I was stuck in my room. I felt lazy and was scrolling on YouTube the whole time. And I didn't feel like going to the gym even though it was on my schedule for the evening. Then I get a text of a girl that I really liked. She sent a picture of a bus stop near my house. And in that moment, there was this surge of motivation in me where I just wanted to get up and go towards her. But her bus was actually coming in 10 minutes, so if I just walked normally, I couldn't actually reach her. So I put on my running shoes, put my gym bag on my back, and almost sprinted. I can't remember a time where I actually went that fast as I did in that evening. And so after about 3 minutes of sprinting, I'm finally at the bus stop where she is sitting and looking at her phone. I go towards her and we have this wholesome interaction of not talking because we both know what's up right now. That I should be in my home and not out in the cold with short pants. Then a few minutes later, the bus comes. We exchange this positive energy. I wave her goodbye while she's in the bus, and I run like a maniac 2 kilometers to my gym. And through this, I learned that you will grow through love. You know that there's a lot of people saying, oh, girls are distractions. If I can't grind right now, what's the purpose of a girl if she's gonna stop me doing that? But I think it's a total opposite, and all the guys who are saying this just don't choose the right girl or don't find them. Of course, if you're dating right now and you can't really find the girl which really clicks, it can of course feel draining because you will put so much effort into one girl and texting and bringing her presents even, but then she doesn't give you any energy back because she won't be the right one. But you have to understand, if you think that girls are burdened right now, these are not all girls. You know, we have this feminine energy and masculine energy, right? And we as young men and men in general, we feed off this feminine essence. They give us the strength. Like the feminine is life, it is said. And this is so true. Have you ever felt the surge of motivation like rising up in you when you've talked to a nice girl, like the 10 out of 10 girl you saw at the bus stop? Suddenly you're doing even harder things in the gym, right? It's not just that it's this primal attraction, but it will actually make you perform better. It's almost like a buff. And honestly, I have yet to find a better buff than this. All the love that you can build up with your girl or your woman will make you stronger physically and also mentally. Like I said, you've experienced this, that you get stronger through the interactions with pretty girls. And in general, we as men do many things just because of women, right? If women weren't on this planet, it'd be a total massacre, right? We'd be killing each other. We won't look for the beauty. We'd just try to make even better weapons to kill each other, right? But we have this gift given to us by girls that we kind of want to protect and also provide. We want to do good. We want to be good people for them and also show them love. And if we show this woman love, we will also be getting better at showing the world love. And with that, you will be immensely happy. It's not even comparable to a guy which plays video games all day and orders McDonald's to get dopamine hit after dopamine hit. He won't be happy through that, but you can imagine that women are kind of a struggle for you and also me, for us all. So it's kind of hard, but the hard things shape us in a good way. It wouldn't be worth it if it were easy, right? And we know this. We kind of look for challenges and adventures. If we could just do something that everybody could, then it would be pointless. With that being said, I think it's kind of hard to actually find a woman that cares for you and is not so selfish. Especially in these modern countries where seemingly every girl scrolls on YouTube all the time and has this pretty picture of the Instagram boyfriend. not of the caveman which hunts for her, right? For sure, there is a deal being made in these modern times where we don't have to get as uncomfortable anymore for the family we will have, but it's rather to actually try our best, and then it's not so physically uncomfortable, but it's quite a challenge still in your mind to want to develop all of the time. The cavemen didn't have to develop a lot in their lives. They just had to hunt the mammoths and then they were done with their job, right? We, because we are so many, we are kind of in a competition, but not really. I've talked about this before. It's like the guys, every guy has different goals, and he won't be the same person you are, though some people will be quite similar in their goals, but their 10 out of 10 girl and 10 out of 10 task is something else than you have. For example, this guy wants to own a fashion brand, but you just want to have a little ice cream shop on the side. Both makes the same money, but it's the different ways of getting there, and also what you provide to the people, what your gift is essentially. Through the modern distractions that we see, like we have music, we have video games, we have scrolling, we have all of this feel good stuff that actually hurts us in the long run, even though it feels good for the moment. You've experienced this. If you're a bit chubby or you were chubby, right? You know what it's like to eat the junk food and then after 3 years just notice, okay, you've been eating wrong the whole time, but you weren't even so clear about that you were eating wrong, right? It's not just me that thinks this. Am I crazy for thinking that there's many organizations which actually want to make the world kind of a worse place? Like McDonald's, they are of course interested in their money. But what do they give to people? They have these nice coupons which they give out to people and say, okay, you can have some almost free Big Mac. Even imagine if McDonald's gave out free Big Macs to everybody and every day. It would be seemingly good because they provide some food, right? But have you looked at the food? At the supposed food? It's like a patty that's made out of what do I even know? It's not even real meat, it's kind of this mixture which is pressed together. Then the buns that don't even spoil, which have thousands of chemicals in them to make them last longer. Oh, okay, you have some pickles on there, which have been sitting in water and sugar forever. Coming back to how you'd grow with this love and actually experience it for yourself and build up a loving relationship. There's multiple stages, or not stages, but types of relationship. You've known the ones that were quite romantical. You've seen these in movies. It's like the fantasy for most girls that isn't spoken out of, but they girls read these novels which have this 10 out of 10 sexually aggressive guy in them, and they read that and they like it. Still, if you look onto Instagram, there's these Instagram boyfriends which are their best friends of the girls, and truly the same girls also read these novels, so they have a boyfriend which is on the friends type, but they want the romance type, and slowly, like we as guys, we also profit from the romance, from kissing. We get a lot of strength through that. You could imagine how you'd feel better if you were in a secure relationship which you actually felt loved in, which you felt supported in, where your girl would text you a cute sentence, good luck in the gym, have fun. It's something like that. If we get reminded how much we actually are, then we kind of get reminded of what we are capable of. And if we also have the added layer of responsibility, that our girl likes our abs and we can't get complacent, we have to train even more because of that so they don't disappear if we eat too much in the bulk. This gives us immense strength, and you can see why you'd go to the gym more often than if you didn't have a girl. Quite honestly, I don't think you have to spend much time with your girl. You can have a romantic relationship spending 6 hours in a week together. My grandma said something like, if you want to matter, you can't show up as often. You can also provide these onto words, right? If you want to have some impact on the world, you can't just keep talking the talk. If there's a guy saying, yeah, I'm gonna add 20 pounds of muscle this week, no one would believe him, right? And if he said this over and over, if there's a well disciplined guy which does his job all of the time and does it well, then we would believe this guy because he has walked the walk and also now knows what he's talking about, right? With 6 hours in a week, you could get this romantic interaction between you. You could exchange your energies and then be in this loving manner and think about each other all the time, because now you're lacking kind of the intimacy which you would have if you were together all of the time. But you know that being together all of the time is then kind of evolving into depolarization, it is called, which you get best friends through. And essentially, you don't want a girl best friend as a young man which has a masculine core, right? If she also has a masculine core, it can work out, but most of the time, women will have feminine cores, so it wouldn't work out in a friendship. Because we as young guys, we grow through brotherhoods. If your friend challenges you, who can run faster? You've known this in the child years. You'd always get these competitions in. This is how we grow. Are you motivated with someone calling you, oh, you're so pretty today, keep up your muscles? Of course, this will motivate us a bit, but if you actually have to prove something to the guys around you that they still respect you, then you will automatically give your best, because you don't want to lose the respect of the guys which are kind of in your caveman tribe. For girls, it's the opposite. You don't want to challenge them, but you actually want to give them nice words and kind of fill them up with love and feeling good, because then they will be quite happy. You could imagine. That's why compliments are almost in every sentence and conversation starter with them, right? It's not so often that you meet the girls which actually are attracted to you and also kind of the people that would push you up. Because honestly, there's not many girls which are just going around and you meet them often, which have these traditional values and also are kind of true to their energy, what they feel. And I know this is a quite split topic, and there will be some modern feminists which say, okay, we are equals and we have to be the same, but this will never work, in my opinion. You know that if you had best friends, imagine your whole friend circle of boys was switched out by one. Eventually, you'd want to kiss some of them, right? They will be your crushes. You'd start fantasizing about them. And also, we have different gifts. Right? This will be quite harsh, but if you're thinking about being intimate, would you rather be picked up or pick the girl up? You would rather pick her up, right? Because that's what most young guys feel. It's not that they want to be pinned down on the bed. And if we kind of suppress this feeling, imagine if you'd suppress wanting to pick the girl up. And now you're both at this even level where you're essentially just best friends. There's no passion, there's no real truth, no wildness in yourself to express the feelings that you have for each other. And with that, of course, you die down. And with that, you don't stay true to your own soul and you don't get what you want. So you will feel quite dissatisfied, which I think a lot of modern relationships, especially in this young age, kind of fail because they kind of look for the best friend. We hadn't make such, in the Disney movies, right? These aren't the romance things. They are the best friends which talk about everything and kind of show their emotions to each other. Which, of course, would be fine if you want to be on this friendship type level. But if you want to be on this romance level, which would give you even more power in your daily life, which would give you more direction towards your goals, then you'd obviously choose the other one, which doesn't seem like the modern fairy tale, but the fairy tale to you. Also, there's this last type, which I don't really think is a type in relationships. It's about the children, of getting your legacy through the children. In a relationship, I've heard someone say this, it's then quite important to know what your priority is and also meet someone at the same level. Like, if you want a friendship, then you'd also get the friendship type. But if you want a romance, you'd want a partner who wants a romance type, not the children type. Because imagine yourself in 10, 15 years when you have children and also a woman. Then she would do trips with the children and not cook you dinner because of that. She won't kiss you passionately when you get home because there's the children and they need to be played with, right? And then it's quite hard to maintain this relationship. The person wants a friendship and not a romance. These don't fit together, these are not at the same level. And with that, the relationship will kind of break down eventually because one person has to suppress the romance, the other person feels like the romance is a bit too much, and she actually just wants a best friend, which is actually preached in Instagram reels, whatever, right? You've seen this. We do everything together, we just went to the gym, okay, now we're at this cute little cafe. Do you really want to spend that much time that you start to go down to the friendship level instead of the romance? It won't be for most guys, and also not for you. So I assume that you now have a clear picture in mind of what you're going to do with your girlfriend or your future to be with girlfriend. If you're still looking for some girl that you can call your own, then of course give it your best. And if you're dating already, then kind of treat her as if she was your wife already. Do like these almost cliche things, like a flowers every Sunday. On your first date, you'd brush your teeth, shower, so you smell good. Maybe even remove the excess hairs from your nipples. And then you can imagine how if you'd died down and didn't put in the same effort, that you'd go down to friend level because okay, we can be so comfortable with each other that we don't have to put in as much effort. It's friendship now. And so it's quite difficult to actually stay on the balance. So with that, you can see why it's even easier to spend rather less time than you would need than to spend more time, which will lead into the degrading of your relationship. I understand that this is a rather advanced topic and that I might be perceived as a weird guy for this, but maybe there were some points which you actually agree on. Yeah. So if you did, please write me a little cute comment to cancel out the bad ones. Until then, stay true to yourself and have a good time. I'll see you soon.